Yeah.
I wonder.
At least they're.
This meeting's in order, please stand for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Okay, thank you, everybody, for coming. So, can I run through the first agenda items? So, first thing is July 2nd, 2025, the workshop. Are there any additional? I entertain a motion to approve the July 2nd workshop minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the July special workshop minutes.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carol is absent. Then we have July 8th, 2025, City Council meeting minutes. Oops, July 8th, yeah. Any additions, deletions, corrections?
No.
No. Okay, I entertain a motion to approve July 8th, council meeting minutes.
I make a motion to approve July 8th, 25 council minutes. Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Then we have July 11th, workshop again. Any corrections?
No.
I entertain a motion to approve the July 11th workshop. minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the July 11th workshop minutes.
I second. the motion.
Oh, you second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And then, the next is July 11th, special session minutes. Any corrections?
No.
I entertain a motion to approve these.
I make a motion for you, July 11th, special session minutes. Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We record. Kurt is not here, right? John? Kurt's not here.
Okay,
Anything on the fire?
pardon,
Anything going with the fire department?
just training for the inevitable, please be careful.
Okay. Then we're going to go into our new business. We have a zoning permit for 690 Gaisley Lane, a house. Say shop on the second page. Oh, and a shop. Okay, discussion, is there any questions, concerns?
That's the lot big that's sloped up there on the corner.
Okay,
They meet the setbacks, but they just have to be aware that from the highest peak of the roof to the lowest peak of the ground, it cannot be over 30 feet. So I don't know how they're gonna level the lot.
right now it meets the height.
Yeah, it meets the height, but we've had that issue on a couple other bills, that they were a little over the height on the lowest part of the ground. So it has to be 30 feet from the peak to the ground. But the setbacks match.
So that, shop, okay.
Yeah, same thing goes with the shop, just the peak of the roof to the lower part. Just because of the terrain up there.
Any other questions, concerns?
No.
Okay, I entertain a motion to approve the zoning application for 690 Gaisley Lane. Top of the house in the top.
Well, I know it's, let me back up a little. It's kind of like on a corner lot, but it's
Okay.
not. Kind of corner lot.
That was all.
They had trapezoid, so yeah, so I address that.
Pretty good, yep.
Mhm.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve this?
I'll make a motion to approve the, application for 690 Gateway.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, then we have a zoning for 110 Mill Street, a picket fence. And this is on a corner lot.
The only thing that would have to be done in the corner lot, even though there's a stop sign there, it's just a high traffic, is the vegetation has to be from the pin on the highway side, 30 feet back to 30 feet, so it's got to have 30 feet with no tall flowers going up there. She can have the flowers, but it can't be over 4 feet from the, 4 foot tall from the pavement.
Yeah,
So just back 30
Screws
feet.
has to be back further.
well,
To be out of-
because it's a stop sign, it can't be higher than 4 feet.
Right.
What's your,
So
the
this
clearance?
application, this might be moved over. maybe on this grade.
Well, the entry gate, yeah, it's just poles, but it should technically be 30 feet from the pin over to.
You gotta have your pipe going there.
You gotta have that 30-30 side turn. So other than that,
Oh, very good, yeah.
So, this is not gonna be, this is not gonna interfere with,
it needs to be moved. The north side of it just needs to be moved so that it's 30 feet from the pin on the Auburn side over.
okay,
Along with no flowers, taller than 4 feet in that 30-foot triangle.
Yeah, and it didn't say what it is.
Yeah, I don't have, I think it's 25 on here.
Yeah.
Said just what, goes over 5 feet.
so, any other questions or concerns? Have you got motion? Any other-
Yeah. So I make a motion to allow the 3-foot, picket fence to be put on there as long as you got the 30-foot triangle in the corner and the archway can have to be moved to do the past that 30 feet for visual safety.
On the flowers area?
Yeah, and the flowers have to, yeah, it can't be over 4 feet from the pavement, tall for the visual.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The next thing on here is, we have a fire hydrant that got broke several years ago. Didn't realize it, it's up. And it needs to, the guys pulled it out the other day. And we need to purchase a fire hydrant because it's up toward, I think, the Gaisley area, and definitely need to have a hydrant up there. And so it's gonna cost about $1,500. So, well, that's what it was. But it's something we don't have a choice.
No. We don't have a choice, and fire hydrants are very important.
Yep.
So,
So, as soon as we approve it, we'll get it ordered.
now,
So do I have a motion to order a new fire hydrant replacement?
I make a motion to purchase a new fire hydrant replacement for installation.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The inflow meter plate under the table, because that isn't something that we did immediately. And we need to get a price on that. Is it just a backup to be on the shelf? if the other one has to go in and get it repaired. So. That brings us to Mr. Goslin.
Yeah.
Mr. Goslin is here to discuss, inform a little bit about finances. And maybe take some questions, maybe have some answers. This is going to be, we're gonna have this meeting and then in September, we will have another one in regards to it. In the evening.
Yeah, so the plan here is, during budget, you want me to stand up, John?
Yeah.
All right. All right. We'll see.
I took your chair though.
So, during budget, we kind of came to the conclusion that we're actually gonna be seeing deficit fund balances. We're gonna see lower revenues, higher expenses in the general fund and the street fund. So, quick history here. We're trying to do this kind of an ongoing discussion. We've had this discussion the last 2 months at one of the council meetings. And it's just kind of bring everybody involved to take all the input we can, take all the questions we can. A lot of cities across the state of Oregon are encountering this issue where they don't have enough revenue coming into the general fund because of a thing called Measure 5, which limits property tax growth. I'm sure most of you are aware of that. So like, for example, Sumter's annual property taxes are $30,000. It's actually gone down the last couple of years and not up because appraised values are low. So that's that, and the gas tax, which is also going down, is what funds the street fund in your general fund. When we look at, just for example, I'm just picking 1 year here. When we look at 2024, year ended June 30th, 2024, our gas tax revenues for the street fund were $16,000 and our street fund expenditures were $42,000 just to maintain and operate our streets, snow plowing, things like that. And so we need to come up with a way to either reduce services or increase revenue. Those are the two options. That's how it works, right? Revenue comes in, expenses go out. So it's one of the two. And so the whole point is to just present kind of the situation and let community and council decide what to do with that. What we'd like to do is in September, after everybody's summer's over, is have an evening meeting, like 6 or 7 o'clock at night, so we can get more people here. And then just kind of have a presentation of here's the situation that the city's facing, and then just go over options and potential solutions. At this point, we're trying to get ahead of it enough that we don't have to make any decision like yesterday. We're just trying to get the information out there. Nobody raises, if we don't do anything, eventually we're gonna run out of money. That's not a dire prediction, it's just a simple fact. And it's not like tomorrow, it's like, a little ways down the road. We're just trying to point that out so we can start figuring out. Some of the options are actually to go out to you guys again for a special tax levy that would go to voters. Or council could do a public safety fee or something along those lines. That's what other towns have done, is just add a fee to your water bill for general services. Don't have to do that. Again, just presenting options at this point. So you guys can talk through that and figure out what works. But do you have any quick questions for me now? And if I can't answer, my hope is actually to include them in the presentation I do in September. And so if you got any questions, I'd love to hear them.
Can you say your name? Just so that you know, correct?
Kathy Todd Hunter, and we own a commercial building here in the city.
Yeah.
Is there an actual written list of your budget, where monies are, where
absolutely.
money's spent? Is it on, I haven't seen it on the website, so maybe I'm missing it.
Copies.
Yeah, we hand out copies. We have a whole budget process of everything. Just we follow the law with that. Do it every year. It was approved by council in June
Okay.
this year.
Thank you.
Yes.
Rex Hubbard. I'm curious if there's room to entertain other avenues of income to the city versus taxing population further than they're currently being taxed. Not that I'm opposed to tax levies or I'm opposed to any of these things. I understand why there's a need for them. But, as a whole, I feel like monetarily, the citizens of the town are already pretty strapped. I don't know that taxing them further, makes the situation any better for them. I'm just curious if there's ways that we can entertain coming up with additional resources that don't include putting another burden on the people of the community as a whole.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. If anybody has any ideas on stuff like that, I think we're one of the entertaining ones for sure.
Do we have parameters for that type of thing? I mean, has anybody come
We're
up
just
with?
here to hear, some ideas, I mean, that's going to be reasonable, that, you know, the city could do.
Yeah,
I
so I'm
mean,
working
we have
with,
our.
so I currently work with a number of small cities. They're all facing the same issues. I think nobody wants to pay more taxes, 100%, right? I can share what other cities have done, and then we can come up with whatever we want. We certainly don't have to copy anybody else. We can do whatever we want. But as far as like what a city can do to raise revenue beyond taxation is a tough one. And so if there are out of the box ideas, fantastic, let's bring them. Nobody wants to pay more taxes, I agree.
Right.
Can you guys go to the city of Baker and request more of our tax money since we get no services from Baker? Cause that's what taxes are for. We have no people out here, we got no ambulance out here.
So we get all of the taxes that are assigned to us. The county collects taxes that you pay. They break it out to the various districts and we get what our levy is. And that's a permanent rate levy that we cannot change without voter approval.
And what was that amount again per year?
It's about $30,000. You guys actually pay more because we do have some that's allocated specifically to debt, but we can't do anything with that because debt payment is actually higher than the taxes we receive.
But we pay pretty high taxes here compared to other counties.
I think that'll be part of the presentation, is just to kind of show you what the tax burden is for this base versus other areas. Yeah.
More questions, Brooke? This is your chance.
Yeah, please.
He's the answer person.
Have you guys done any searching for grants or processing, looking for grants?
So here's the beauty of grants. Grants are awesome for one thing.
Mhm.
They're not going to pay for your ongoing street maintenance. They're not going to pay for your front office employees. They're not going to pay for your water and sewer, other than to build infrastructure.
Yeah.
We've got
We've had-
tremendous grants for
We've
building our
had water,
infrastructure.
water grant, wastewater grant, a grant from the
Yeah.
museum roof. We got a grant for the park.
Yep.
We didn't get the street grant this year,
Our
But it-
department grant.
a fire department grant.
Center.
Yeah, you're looking at about
Cemetery.
3.5 million in grants over the last.
Yeah. So we're getting every grant we can
I just didn't know
utilize.
if maybe equipment, you might be able to have less work hours if you had better equipment. Something like that.
Yeah, and we'll talk, I think staffing's fair. I think that's fair game when we talk about what that looks like and what the costs of the city are. And I think you're gonna find that your staffing costs are unbelievably low compared to other cities.
Oh, yeah.
And what do we have, 2.5 employees?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the half.
Rob, are you saying that you would be better prepared to take comments and ideas on the September meeting?
No, my hope is to get all your questions, because the more questions I'm asked beforehand, the better I can research, answer those, provide, visual aids and things like that. So I'm gonna have this tweet again next month to say, hey, what other questions you guys have? That's the whole point of having this ongoing
Okay,
conversation.
but for the ideas then, would
I'd be happy to take them now, if you'd like me to research them, or you can spring them on me whenever you want.
Maybe we should build back up the markets like they used to be, and the city take it back over and take it back to Richard Baker and get that money.
I think it's very.
Actually, we actually got more money.
Speak up on that.
Okay, so you guys. We actually got a check from Baker County for more than what we, would have got without them managing it, because we didn't have to pay, an employee extra time to manage the market. So what we paid the county was minimal.
Linda, that was council's decision to take the employee down there and use up their time and make up that expense when it was not needed. And as far as I'm concerned, it was nothing more than a personal vendetta.
Okay,
It was being handled very well. And there were no complaints back then.
okay,
But
Well, we had an employee here that's only part-time, that could not handle the full-time in the office here.
I'm talking about when you had a full-time employee in here, yeah. So that was your decision,
That was council's
and,
decision.
and flea market is, if half the people that were complaining at Memorial Day do what they say they're gonna do, you're gonna lose from 3 to 6, maybe 7 vendors
Well,
to downtown.
I'm not gonna debate that with you because we had a lot of, new vendors that were very happy with it. That are all coming back for Labor Day also. So it's a balance. It's new, it was a new system. And you know what? People will adapt to a new system. It's more efficient. Employee didn't have to be up there all the time.
You're gonna lose them,
Okay, well,
whatever.
I mean, it's the first year, we're trying it out. And like I say, it doesn't burn up the office. There was nobody in here to handle that during the office. Right now. Matt, we put Matt out on it.
I just feel like that's one element of the
Yeah.
whole conversation. I don't spend too much time on it.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, watching the city work on these flea markets, we watched a $23,000 expense. Drop a lot of expense out of it, from a $3,000 garbage bill down to $600 now for a garbage bill. You know, the city has been working on it, there are a lot of new faces in here. And maybe they're not aware of how much improvement.
Over the last
So,
7 years.
so taking all that into account, we'll just do a comparison of the flea markets financially for the last couple of years, as part of the presentation. Yeah. Any other
I
questions?
would like to say one thing.
Yes.
I used to be a vendor up here, every year for all 3 of them. Fourth of July was the worst always. And, every time we came up to set up, we heard nothing but complaints and, oh, they're gonna shut this down and they're not gonna this and they're not, and you hear that enough. Then you think, I better start looking somewhere else to set up. So without this definitive answer and stuff, you know, everybody's just always wondering, oh, are they gonna be running when I come up here this next time? So maybe more positive talk about it.
We did a lot of social media this year on it. A lot of pre-social media and stuff about the changes and about, you know, who to contact and stuff like that. It was a lot.
I know the one thing I did set up on the hill one time and would never go back because it was so dusty because of those gophers. That was a nightmare.
Yes, they are a nightmare and we're working on the parking lot.
Anything else that's not flea market?
Yeah.
That's a big issue for everybody around here, though.
I think it's totally fair, but for the financial piece, which is all I'm trying to address, you guys want to do that in a different
Yeah.
part, that's
Right.
totally fine with me, have that.
Different.
But
This is
I was
for
just trying to
life,
hit
good
the
ideas.
finance piece, because even at best, it's a $20,000 amount. You know, that's
It
what we're
used to
talking
be
about.
really good though, when it was black market and the city was actually into promoting it, big promotion of it. This was really big. They could bring it back. It would take some work, but
Takes money.
So we
it
are,
takes some work from council people, everybody trying to run the city. I mean, you know. That's true.
well, we're not gonna debate this right now, but, cause Rob's here to.
We're just trying to talk about
We need to,
Any questions?
yeah,
anything you guys want to see. We're trying to be transparent. That's the whole goal. And
Yeah.
everybody asks for transparency, communication. This is what we're doing.
Did you say you have a list of other towns and what they were doing?
Yes, I can provide that.
So
You
that
looking for ideas then now, right now?
Questions, anything that I can answer in the presentation? So like, what do you want to know about the city is question number 1. And then, yes, we can present other ideas. If you guys can come back with ideas that we can discuss, we'll have a section. in the
We've given a lot over the years, didn't ignore. Sorry, but
Sure.
ATV licenses for out of town people, $10. So what? They don't care. They would be glad to do it. But you have to have somebody in the office and open to do it.
mhm.
And that could bring in thousands. The burn pile, everybody in this town should be charged for that burn pile, because you got a hell of a mess right now. And we're missing a golden opportunity that we don't have the money for, is Artie Mac backhauling it back. I talked to Mike 2 years ago and he said he'd do it for $200 a load. Haul the ash back, dump it on, and right now Artie Mac's been going through here 100 trucks a day for a month. So it's just missing a big opportunity there. Another one is people watering multiple tax lots with one water bill.
Well, that is going to be, when the meters come in, that will solve. And that is, looks like that will be next year.
Does that mean they'll be installed next year or that?
We're hoping they'll be installed next year, yes. Cause we're kind of moving forward with that. Forest Service kind of hung us up on a heritage study. So it looks like, because that is going to really resolve these people overwatering, because again, you can water as much as you want, but it's gonna cost you. So, that should resolve a lot of the overwatering.
Well, but I can just say I'm on a meter now for my RV park, and I've gone over a couple times, but I only had to pay like $2. So it's
I
not
mean,
that
we
bad.
go over, Daryl, we're the other person in the whole town on a meter. We go over, it's only $20, but still, there's people watering their yards using a hell of a lot more water than we do, because we do everything we can to conserve it. And you have pole hookups. We don't.
Yeah.
So I don't really see how you can't go over, but,
We know it's a problem. Like I say, hopefully the meters are better, because the rates will change too at that time, so.
And I would suggest, working with the town. The town has a large population with family and friends who come in RVs, and instead of fighting them on the conditional use permits, create a 2-week, special permit where they can have family and friends and pay the city $10 for that 2 weeks to go towards, the water and sewer costs. And then you have the date and the time they're expected to be there, and if they're not, they can pay another $10 and extend the permit. It's just a way to work with the city and what the city really wants and how it's being used.
Who's gonna police every lot where somebody's got visitors?
but you have to do an honor system.
Yeah, well, we have recently had a permit asked to put 2 campers on a lot in the IR zone. And the city denied it, but you drive past 4 properties who have 3 and 4 campers in residential areas. So it really, there's no fairness unless we just address it for everybody in a way that suits everybody.
That's a little, okay.
Yeah,
we know
ordinance
about
enforcement is an issue across all of these two.
I have a little bit of an issue like with, you're gonna build meters. So you're gonna pay for the water you use, but what about, like, if I leave for the winter, I'm gone for 6 months, and if I have to pay a hookup fee, it costs me just as much as if I was living here and using water. So why?
Well, the problem with the meters is we're going to have to do like we did with probably the RVs, because we encourage people to run water during the winter. So we will have to do just a flat fee like we do with the RV parks. There will be an adjustment. So again, that's something that's still in the works, and that's a discussion that we will get into when we get to the meter side.
So it'll be a flat fee plus that allows you so many gallons.
Right, so yeah, so.
Base rate.
Yeah, base rate, so it's gonna be adjusted for the winter, because again, we want people to run water for the winter for their pipes, so that's something that we're gonna be working on. Once we know for sure we're getting it in. Next
So
year.
what about, like, I'm gone, so
Mhm.
if it costs me $300 to have my water shut off, turn back on, I might as well,
Might as well leave it on.
I can't leave it on, I don't want house freeze, I already had problems with last spring and
Well,
flooding.
Again, this is something, that we're gonna have to discuss down the road. Again, we're here for ideas for Rob to come and formulate a plan. I mean, we're aware of a lot of these issues, but we're not going to beat up these issues right now. We're trying to give Rob something to work with for the meeting in September. But yes, the meters will change a few things.
And I do think that if the city's made aware of the dire situation that it's in, people will be more likely to participate with permit situations, with the burn pile, with extra RVs around town. Nobody wants to see the town go broke.
Right.
Yeah, actually, permitting is one thing that, Big John Day just passed, a new fee schedule for all their various permits. That's all general fund dollars, and it's
Okay.
anticipated that'll raise $70,000. That new process in total, so just an idea.
How did they implement that, Rob?
It's gotta go to council every year, gotta implement it, you gotta have staff. So there's a
Yeah, I
cost
mean,
to
how
it
do you
too.
track these people down, cause you know, I mean, they're
So
everywhere.
they don't have enforcement either. Nobody has enforcement.
So only the honest person's gonna come in and follow the rules.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's the way it is now on the conditional uses, only the honest ones come in.
All right, well, thank you guys, appreciate it. We'll ask the same question, same kind of thing next month, and then in September, we'll put together a presentation and advertise it really well.
Just a question, just one more thing. How about a box out here that some people can put their suggestions in? They can't show up here, like a suggestion box. Boy, that's pretty complicated. Just ideas, an idea box.
Yes, we are.
We used to have one.
We have one.
Used to have, but I never got any, hardly any.
Promoting.
Dropped in, but there's one around here somewhere.
And would you put it at the post office or something?
Okay, well, I
You
guess,
guys will take care.
okay, we'll take care of that. Thank you, Rob.
Yeah. And do we have the email? I always have one of those great.
Yeah.
Okay, guys,
Absolutely.
okay, so. Yeah. So before we go into the rent fair discussion, I'm gonna hijack you. We have, we have Deputy Sheriff, Dave Morinado here. He comes and visits once in a while and we need you to explain again about the nuisance ordinance and how it works for you as far as when you come out, if you get a complaint, what do you
Sure.
look for these? I hate to hijack you, but I just. this
That's
came up.
fine, you know, Lindy told me I didn't have to prepare for it. Like Mr. Gaslin said, ordinance enforcement in Eastern Oregon is almost non-existent. And so what Baker County has done in 2019, they amended a nuisance ordinance. The commissioners amended, updated in September of 2019, the Baker County nuisance ordinance. And that is composed of three things. You're in violation if you have an accumulation of solid waste, an accumulation of inoperable vehicles, and dangerous buildings or structures. And there are small definitions in each one of those things. They're very short and not very detailed, so they can be subjective. But if there's a definition of inoperable vehicles, more than 3, and accumulation of solid waste, and the definition of what that is. So in 2022, the sheriff's office with the commissioner made a position, community service deputy position, and that's when I applied for this role to come from patrol to this position. So from January 2022, that's one of the things that I've been doing, and it's for Baker County in general, outside of Baker city limits, and also for all of the outside communities that adopted it. Back then, who was mayor? Correct.
Great, yeah.
Great, yeah. Yeah, so yes, you're right. And so I came and did a presentation and talked about what it was. Sumter elected to adopt it, and then since then, I made a complaint form, and you can get this complaint form on the Baker County Sheriff's Office website, or you can get forms from here in the office. It's a complaint-based situation. The Sheriff's Office does not go around looking for violations of the nuisance ordinance. If there's a complaint form that's turned in, Lindy grabs it, or whoever, if you can submit it here at the office, or you can email it to the sheriff's office or bring it down to the sheriff's office. I look at it and then I see if it's filled out correctly, because there's no anonymous complaints. And depending on what the complaints are, and then I'll go and do a site visit and check everything and see if it falls under the nuisance ordinance or not. And then I either move forward from there or call the reporting party and say, yeah, this doesn't fit what the nuisance ordinance is all about. And then from there, I am tasked with working with the owner of the property and trying to get them to comply. Other entities, I won't point fingers, but they'll just go and issue a citation. Just go and knock on the door, maybe not even knock on the door and leave a citation. The way we approached it, the sheriff's office, the sheriff specifically said, we're not gonna go and just give citations, we want to go and work with our community. And that's what I do. And so it takes a lot of work, a lot of communication, and explaining everything to the complainants and also to the homeowners as well, the property. So that's one of the things that I do. So you should all know that I'm not sure how much longer the sheriff's office is gonna be tasked with that particular it might go back to the planning department, which is who did it before the sheriff's office. Okay. But that's above me.
Sure.
It was just mentioned that I'm not sure how much longer the sheriff's office is gonna be. But, yeah, that's the process. Are there any questions on that? Currently don't have any open in Sumter. I have 7 open in Huntington, 1 or 2 in Richland, 2 in Haynes. I have my list, but it's pretty close to a dozen right now.
You can have one here.
What's that?
You can have one here. It's in here.
Yeah, she came
Oh,
in this morning.
So,
Sorry.
no, that's good. I didn't, I thought you were pointing at something. No, you're giving me a number. So, yeah, that's,
Okay.
one of the things. I do lots of other things in the community as well. I'm basically a liaison for the sheriff's office. I do a lot of work with the youth, do a lot of work with community partners, crisis intervention team training, first responder training. I've come up to do, some trainings with, QRU and stuff like that, different topics. It depends on, what's needed. On a lot of different panels, the suicide prevention committee, the mental health drug court, all different types of things. So it's not just something that the nuisance ordinance thing is one of the things that I work on. So are there any questions on that?
Okay, so I know we just kind of hijacked you on that.
No, that's all right. No problem.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. So next thing on the agenda is the Ren Fair discussion. So to start with, I think after Ren Fair, somebody posted something on Facebook, just a minute, on Facebook, on a private, and I don't do Facebook, guys, so I understand it was on their private Facebook, and it got seen, and it got shared, and it got shared, and it got shared. That did not come from the city. I want to make that plain. That was, we knew nothing about that stuff, going. So, go ahead, Jeff.
I like to address my community.
Okay,
A warning. This was a private event held on private property, except for the library where we got permission to use it. We've had it for 2 years. Be very careful of turning that power over to this council and any subsequent councils to have power over a private event such as the beer garden, your UTV, because we all know that people get places and they have little petty revenges and they can shut activities down in this town that are very good for the community. And it should not be called a Renaissance Fair. It is the 4th of July flea market and Renaissance Fair. And if you look at every flyer we put out, it says that.
okay, there was a problem. Okay, so I got several complaints myself personally, and part of it was you advertise it as a flea market, and there were not very many vendors here just for flea market. And some, it's my turn. Some people were very unhappy about that. The other thing was the alleyway was used for parking for your vendors. You could not get an emergency vehicle down there.
Yes, we could have
Okay, well,
made sure of
they
that.
couldn't even get the park post, couldn't even get it side by side down a couple days. So the park was not real happy with that
No.
being blocked.
One
Not my
afternoon,
turn.
one afternoon.
No, there were several, because they came over afterwards and talked to me. and they were on the grass, and we specifically asked you, when you use the museum, no camping on city property. And, you know, unfortunately, when it's right in front of my face, I cannot ignore it. And you know, they were camping with their tent, they had their little kitchen on their table there, they cooked their meals, they washed their pots and pans, and threw the water on the grass. I mean, we asked you not to do that because they were there on Memorial Day too. So, I mean, there was just, you know, I mean, if you aren't, and you told, actually, when you said you wanted to use the museum, you said it was for vendors. You didn't tell us it was for vendor parking. So, I mean, and just, this is the thing, I got complaints, I'm not gonna go through all of them, I'm just saying, for using for city property, we asked you specifically, or you got, have some stuff done.
So that's an easy fix.
Just ignore it. It's an easy fix, in that if you wanna rent the property, you're gonna have to rent it, or you're not gonna use it if you don't follow the rules. And you can keep it, you can keep it as private as you want, you can keep it as long, on private ground, that's fine. Well, you know, this council doesn't really wanna have anything to do with it. But it's just, you asked to use city property, we asked you to not to do something, and you did it anyway.
Did I not specify for parking over on that side,
You know,
south side?
you told, we wanted to use it for parking, you said you wanted it for vendors. You didn't
Vendor
say
parking.
vendor, well, you didn't say vendor parking.
I'm sure I
I'm sure
said
again, I
that.
heard.
Okay, well, listen, but still, they were not supposed to be camping on that ground.
Okay, may I read my list?
Sure, you can read your list.
Okay. This is my list for the 2026 Ren Fair Flea Market.
Okay,
Full porta pot. They were empty. We had so many people. They filled them up again by Saturday evening.
mhm,
More signs on the street about events. We
Mhm.
didn't have enough publicity out there to tell people like Frank Carlson was coming in. We need to let people come in, okay? Sand work good, that's for the dance floor, for the belly dancers and for Frank Carlson. Trash cans behind the museum. We need 4 trash cans, the 55-gallon ones, right behind the museum, because people were putting,
mhm.
in the state, and like Garrett said, every flea market. And Lynn came over and told me they filled up
Mhm.
hers too. I offered to give the money she donated for the porta potty back. She did not want it back.
Right.
Next year, there will be 4 porta potties back there, 4 trash cans back there. So that all vendors will be told, and I just got the feeling they just, as they're driving out, they saw the can and they filled it, okay? No cooking except on our property. We're
Right.
gonna put a cooking area on our property.
It's fine,
90%, well, most of our vendors in the area that did the cooking, they were cooking on our property. I went over and talked to those people. I warned them how dry the grass was getting. They had a fire extinguisher. And they didn't have any other place to go. So we'll take care of that. And we're gonna have a vendor letter. I've already talked to a couple of the landowners about a vendor letter about what can be sold. And put some restrictions on these people so they know kind of what the rules are. And
okay,
that's it.
okay, well, I'm just saying, I mean, I'm really concerned about the way that alleyway got clogged up. I mean, it was real, there should
And I
not be
think-
parking on both sides.
I think what happened, we could have gotten a vehicle through there at any time. It only happened Saturday afternoon. We had a sign out there that says vendors only, please. And what happened, I believe, was people were looking for a place to park, so they came down the alley and they parked right there where the state takes this little cart through back into the barn.
Well,
Garrett
it was all.
Garrett said, John, I was gonna call you, but I know you're busy, but no, he should have called me and I told Garrett. I think maybe what we ought to do is, I'd like to go to the state and see if we can use that parking area back behind the railroad as the event builds up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, it wasn't a good place for the vendor parking, and those were all vendors that were parked there, because they came in the morning. I mean, John, I was sitting out in the.
Yeah,
selling
except
stuff.
for a couple of them.
Yeah.
I
Well-
got the feeling they weren't.
But it shouldn't be double side, it should just be one side. So it just was a safety thing,
I had talked to Garrett about parking there along the island or the alley.
yeah.
And I noticed, I told him, I noticed at Memorial Day, you didn't put out any of your
No.
markers to keep people out of the alley. And he said, yeah, we just don't have time.
Mhm.
And he basically told me if someone wants to park there, that's okay.
Okay, well,
So-
that's not what he told me afterwards.
Well,
But yeah, you need to arrange to have your vendors park somewhere else once they're set up. It would make it a lot,
and
it would give, well, it'd give room for people to actually
some do,
come,
some do, some don't.
yeah, cause it was hard for your customers, they were wandering around looking for places to park. But you really, if you're going to grow this, then you need to move your location somewhere. You need someplace bigger. Volunteer park, somewhere. I mean, if you're gonna grow it, you're
And
max.
if you wanna come to a volunteer meeting, we've already got plans in the works on how to grow it. I've talked about this for years,
Mhm.
to grow it north up the street. We've got vendors property up there. John, did anyone call you this year?
No.
They were referred to you, by the way, and we weren't able to fill up Jenny and Justin's lot.
Okay.
And that's an expansion area there. And we can grow towards the log cabin. And, Rex is here. Rex brought the idea of a music festival up at Volunteer Park. I think it'd be a good area. And he and I are working on the budget right now, like to have something like that out there to pull the crowds that direction. And we've got room to expand.
Yeah, as long as you're standing on private property, I mean, we have not, yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah. Yeah,
Can I just say something?
sure.
It'd be really nice. This is a small community
Mhm.
and we love it here, but it'd be nice if people didn't have to fight the city all the time. It'd be nice if we all work together in a nice manner.
The city wasn't fighting him about his rent there, we were fighting about not.
Fight about everything.
Okay,
You do.
we were questioning, he did something that we asked him not to try to do, that's all. And it- So, okay,
Can I,
yeah,
can I ask why the city council doesn't want to have anything to do with the 4th of July celebration? Whether it's a flea market or celebrating our city? I really haven't been to any town where the city was not involved in the community and celebrating our history.
and part of the problem was fine, we did flea market for quite a while. We lost money every 4th of July because people, they go elsewhere 4th of July. They go.
Correct. So why don't you work with us instead of working
We're not
against
working
us?
against
And-
you, we're saying you can do whatever you want. We're just not putting money into this right now because we don't have the funds to put money into something that we get nothing back from.
The general fund is what's lacking, and that's the general fund is
That
what
comes out of
helps
general
pay for
fund.
that. We're already trying to come up with ways to put money in the general fund, so we don't cut back on plowing and all of the essentials. We don't have the money, and if we pay our personnel more time to go and help those.
I
It's still
understand the
hurting.
financial part of it.
Right.
What I don't understand is it feels like it's the city against the community.
Yeah.
But it's
That's
not,
exactly what
That's
it
it.
feels like.
it's money, it's money.
Money.
We're here to monitor the money that fits the most services for the most people. And we lose money on July 4th. We always have. So we
Richard
try to
Crowe,
do
I'm a
that.
vendor
Okay,
and I'm the coordinator for Cindy. And I've brought ideas in and they've been shut down for a cowboy fast draw. Where it's timed event
I've never
or like
heard,
an old fashioned turkey shoot. This has been a few years back.
I was gonna say, I've never heard what you're talking about, so.
So I brought that forward and a few years later, then they've got guys doing these shootouts in town and robbing the train and
Mhm.
doing different things. It's the same thing. And the troop that I wanted to bring in, they work with children
Mhm.
down to the age of 8 with the parental
Mhm.
okay from their parents, and everybody has to have some training or guidance before they ever get on the firing line. And then they're handed a gun on the firing line, and it's a waxed bullet. And it only is projected by a shotgun primer. It's a little faster than a paintball. I thought about paintballs, but that's gonna destroy property and leave a mess.
You didn't bring it to this council.
I'm not a resident.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
We rotate.
I've
I
never,
brought it to people.
yeah, but I've never heard of this, so I probably,
Now.
And that's what we need for the 4th of July, is something for people to get involved in and
Right.
participate. Because if you do not extend to the general population here, you're gonna price them out of business. When I first came here, there were 6 places to eat, now there's 1.
well, we don't
So
have
you're
any
gonna place
control on that.
businesses out of work,
We just,
and you're gonna be raising the taxes. And without the vendors coming in here, who's gonna help support the businesses and help support the property owners to pay the taxes you guys are gonna have to raise them to, because you're not supporting nothing.
and we feel like we're not getting any support from you guys.
What, I mean, for what, you need money? We don't have the money.
We're not
No.
talking money. I mean, we just need your support.
I wanna say
Like
something
we're
here.
Okay, Daryl.
getting from you.
I wanna say something here. As far as support from the city council, this city council got a $3 million grant putting a new water tower. Not me
Yeah.
personally, but the city council. Also, what was the grant from the fire department? 75,000,
Uh-huh.
125.
125,000 for the fire department. $24,000 grant for the museum roof. $20,000 grant to put a genset at the community center. We had other grants lined up for $1.5 million for the water system,
Wastewater's coming.
wastewater system, and so forth. All those grants got cut. Just to let everybody know.
I don't think anybody here is wanting your money, they just want support and
We're
backup
not-
to get
we're
the
not-
flea markets back up to where they were
And
when I
that's what
first
we're
came.
trying to do, is build the flea markets up.
Yeah.
Now, the volunteers wanted to take on the 4th of July when the city said they couldn't. And we're not supporting them, they're just saying they need to follow the rules and if they're gonna grow, they need to find more room for them to grow in.
Linda, next year, let's put it in writing.
And I wanna answer
That's
his
fine.
question.
Let's put it in writing, because if I misunderstood something, I apologize.
That's
Let's
fine.
put it in writing and make it clear.
And I wanna answer this gentleman's
Okay.
question on the outlaw things that come in. The city has nothing to do with that. That's all coordinated through the railroad.
Okay, so
That's
what
not
I was
us.
told is the council was totally against it,
What
and
council?
because of it
Not this
involved with
council.
firearms.
Well, that could be.
My grandson started doing it at 8 years old.
Yeah, but that was.
There is people there and instructors that work with.
Well, that's fine, but you haven't approached this city council about it.
Yeah, and there may be, there's a reason why the
Yeah.
outlaws do it on certain days and not on the holidays. I
Right.
don't know if it's a resolution with the city. That may have to be addressed before they can actually hold an event. I know those.
But we need stuff that's gonna get people that come up involved where they're having more fun, instead of just walking around.
Well, sometimes some of those things, and I know we checked on one of them here a while back, the city insurance company is what shuts us down on some events. They won't cover the events for the city in case something happens. So whatever gets brought to us, we take to the insurance company on some events and make sure that we're covered for the.
So it should be just like I've done for Cindy. Every vendor comes on her, they gotta have liability insurance, or they don't park,
Right,
they're not there.
well, yeah, we require that too, yeah.
Well, then, what's the problem with
But the
insurance?
Well, when you start talking about, I don't care if they're the wax bullets or whatever, you need to check to see if there's a problem. That's
So the
all.
biggest thing with insurance, is all they need to do on their insurance on city property
Mhm.
is name the city as a second
Right,
insurance,
well, yeah,
and then they're covered,
we do that, but
and you're
again,
covered.
when you're talking about a firearm, that's something we'd have to look into. I mean, just nowadays, that's kind of a touchy subject. I'm not saying I'm against it, but that's something we'd have to look into. But you need to bring the proposal to this council, not the council way back when that nobody here has heard about.
Well, that's true. We do need to bring
We-
it
I
to
mean,
you. We need to
You
talk
have
about it.
never heard about this, so you're saying we disapproved it. We didn't know about it, so you need to get a proposal.
And these guns are no lot, they're just a little out than an overgrown cat.
I know, but again, you know what I'm saying, this is something we'd have to look at because it's in the city limits and because make sure we are all covered. You, everybody, Cindy,
We do this in the city of Caldwell.
okay, well, you're in Oregon.
John Day.
I'll put
does
it
it
together
all.
over the winter.
They do it, okay, well. I saw, did I see that hand up somewhere?
In other words, we don't have a problem with it at all. As long as you propose it to the council and everything meets the criteria, great. It brings more people in, we're all for it.
Oh, with the way the world's going today, everybody that comes up and is doing something, they have to have their own insurance. And
Yeah,
they can name the landowner or the city as a second insurer, then everybody's covered.
yeah,
We're all for
And
it.
the burden is on them.
all the vendors do that, all the vendors do that.
I'm a food vendor, so I mean, I have a lot of stipulations.
Oh, yeah, you have more than anybody. So,
So back to our Ren Fair questions.
yeah,
Do you have a list of, you said that you had several complaints. So
I just saw, you know, like I said, on Facebook, people would send me all that stuff.
I didn't
Um,
see any complaints.
Well,
so-
I get, you know, I get, cause I don't do Facebook because of the negativity of it. I mean,
Well,
it's-
if there were complaints is why I'm asking is that we would like to.
Well,
if we
I've
can
asked to
fix
get-
Whatever the complaint was.
I've asked to get some of the screen prints, yeah. But, you know, the problem with social media is you can complain but when they won't do it face to face. I mean, so I'm just saying, I just wanted to say, I know there was a post that it went out on Facebook about changing it and all that stuff. That did not come from this council. That's what I'm clearing up. That was somebody privately on their private Facebooks that got shared and shared and shared, and it ended up to everybody here. Had nothing to do with this council posting anything.
Well, we would appreciate if there are issues
Mhm.
that they are brought to our attention so we can fix it. We don't want people to be unhappy. That's the
Right,
whole
well,
thing.
I know, that's the thing, it's,
Fun
yeah,
events. We had so many people coming through our little booths. I have people from Washington, Idaho, and all the way out from Lowell.
And they were really
Wow.
happy
Oh,
about the,
everything. And what was really interesting in this Renaissance and
Mhm.
the flea market was that I saw was different is there were young people.
mhm,
Not
yeah.
just a bunch of us elders looking at the flea market stuff. We had young people from little toddlers on up to teenagers.
I think Ren Fair is one of those things, especially in this community, for what little I saw. They either liked it or totally hated it. I mean, there was no, oh, it was okay. So, Carrie.
That was probably my Facebook. Stand right up and say, it was a Snack Renaissance Fair freak show. There's gotta be something other than that. This isn't Ashland or Eugene or Portland. This is Eastern Oregon. Can't we look into, and I don't know if it'll work, a timber carnival or mining stuff?
Yeah,
We're working on that.
and I'm talking about it,
Working on it.
the volunteer
Well,
power.
Okay,
Okay,
guys, no, Carrie's talking, let's be civil here.
but I posted that on Facebook and my Facebook comments blew up. I mean, I didn't have anybody that was for it. And I know I don't wanna hurt anybody's feelings, but when I walked down through there with my daughter, I was embarrassed. It was a freak show.
And I think there.
Not all, not all.
Medium, if like the volunteers can police it more, when you see something that's wrong and there's a problem, with people, cause we're not promoting the bad stuff, but it does bring a lot of young people and younger, different crowd into here. So we can have some of it,
Yeah,
but
we had issues. Fire department had issues, EMS had issues, police showed up.
well, you know.
But that can happen, that can happen.
That can happen at any.
I think if you bring in.
Oh.
Stuff that we are known for,
Right.
you know, and just have a happy medium with all of you.
We're not talking about that. purple hair, pink hair.
Oh, come on, don't worry.
Okay, guys, come on, one at a time here.
I'm done.
You're done. Jennifer, you had your hand up.
Yeah, just going back to it, it just reminded me of something. Years ago, the City of Sisters had a real dramatic thing happen where everybody was after the quilt show and all that stuff. And so we had a massive city council meeting. And what was really interesting is when you looked around City Hall, almost everything on the wall told those citizens sitting in that room that night who they really were. There were 50 quilts on the inside of City Hall. They wouldn't be there if it wasn't the essence of the community. You look at the pictures on these walls, granted they're maps, but what does it say? Sumter Grounds Flea Market, #1 right there, right behind Daryl's Head. There is the Cracker Creek. There's the mines. There's the history. That's what this community needs to do. We're an all-American town. Let's bring it back. And let's not have one organization run it all the time. Let's create an all-American team for Sumter. And it doesn't have to be the Sumter Valley Association. I think we start from scratch. And we start it immediately with a roundtable because next year is Oregon's US 250th birthday. And we better be on the map by January. Because people are gonna be, wow, where can you go? 4th of July, 2025. Ooh, it's gonna be big. Really big everywhere nationwide. And you can get grants. Trump just announced there will be grants for every city in the nation to apply for a 250th birthday party.
Thank you, Jennifer. Rebecca.
One of the things that I noticed also, the candlesticks used to be really good at keeping people out of the highway and giving them a foot traffic path on both sides.
Yeah.
And these candlesticks, for some reason, seem to push the people into the highway this year. And I think if we can find a way to adjust that or fix that before Labor Day would really help.
Yeah, they were walking around them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
again, I mean,
Even
that's,
the tape.
Sherry, did you have?
I was approached at Miners Jubilee by a citizen here in Sumter. I never met the person before. Very, very upset with their unfair. And I have no opinion. I'm just going to reflect what he said. He said that he was fearful for his kids. He felt that it brought in the inappropriate people for this community, and he was reflecting like he represented the whole community. I'm just saying what he said. I don't know who this person was. I don't know if he's a longtime resident, a full-time resident, just passing through resident or what. The city wants events. We need events. We desperately need them because it brings revenue into every one of these merchants. It brings it into the RV parks. It's not that the city doesn't want to support it. The city doesn't have the finances to pay for advertising and stuff. Jessica at Baker City, John, you can attest to this, has done an incredible job to help promote it when the city doesn't have the funds to do this. It's just, there's always going to be somebody that doesn't like it. There's always going to be somebody that does like it. It doesn't matter what event is done. The whole, let me finish, John.
Yeah.
The only reason, and this happened when I came on to city council, that the decision was made to no longer do flea market for 4th of July. Was part of it was dust abatement costs. The other was porta potty costs. The other was garbage costs. The city isn't saying it doesn't want the 4th of July. It's just, we had to make a decision on, okay, let's take what we can afford and promote the two that we know brings in the most volume of people. So it's not that it's not supported, the flea market rent fair, it's not that it's not supported by the city. It's not that the city wouldn't be open to other suggestions like you have. It benefits the city to have the business license for the vendors. It benefits the vendors in town. And like I said, it benefits all the lodging things. It's just, I think everybody needs to just step back, put their heads together, come up with some ideas, present them to city council. We'll just make sure that the city's insurance company has no problem. And that's what we're asking. It's not that we're against it. We're asking people to help come up with ideas to keep this town alive and to support the businesses that are still here.
Back to dust abatement though, the lawsuit only says you need to water those roads. So that is very expensive, the dust abatement.
Let's talk about dust abatement. For you that don't know me, I'm John Patterson. I'm sure y'all know me. Yeah, there we go. All the naysayers, like you said. Sucker Valley ATV, I started that to help the Memorial Day flea market get back up to where it's supposed to be. And since then, it's pretty much the main billing on Memorial Day. Whether you like it or not, it is. It brings in people from 5 to 8 states. And they bring money into this town. We've overspilled into Baker 3 years now for lodging. 3 years ago, the first 2 years we spun our wheels. And then I said, okay, this has to start making money. I'm not paying for it, but this is fun. So we did some things, came up with some ideas, and we made money. 3 years ago, with RVO's help, RVO is a ATV manufacturer, okay? We bought the search and rescue, a new windshield that folds down. Because those guys, we had the cheap one like on ours, same one, and you get hot in there. So we bought them one, cost a couple $1,000s. Last year, we gave the city $4,000 for dust abatement. I don't think a lot of you guys know this stuff. We gave them $4,000 for dust abatement. This year, we spent about $2,000 dust abating Sawmill Gulch, because those people take the brunt of the riding. And in a month or so, we're going to put new flooring in the community center for about $6,000. So there are events that will happen. All you have to do is come up with an event in this town and people will flock to Sumter. They love Sumter. They want to put money into Sumter. So maybe listening to somebody else, maybe not hating everybody new that moves to this freaking town, give them a chance. Don't roll your eyes, Kim. You're one of the haters.
Okay.
So just give people a chance and let them have maybe a little reign where, make John, you don't have to run everything in this town, but you do. Hell, you try and run the council. So let some other people have some reign and have an idea and maybe do something in this town and it will pop. I know it will. It's a great town.
Okay, guys.
Kicked out of the forest, so.
Okay.
No,
Hey,
our little
hey,
event's not getting us kicked out of the forest. Our little event wrote a letter to the Forest Service when they wanted to close the road, the middle of the road.
I believe the mayor
Oh,
Yeah.
wanted.
yeah, John, let's
Okay,
not get,
so-
let's not get into a big debate.
No, it's fine.
No.
Just,
Let's don't get into a big debate and start pointing fingers. We need to get along and figure, then we need to get some ideas, just like some ideas, both John Young, Ballard, any of you, we need to sit with the city and work this out with a plan. John, you say you have a plan, you're formulating a plan. Your group needs to come to a workshop, all of us, and we'll see where the common ground is on this. Because we can sit here and yell and accuse and point fingers at each other and we're accomplishing nothing. We're all citizens of this town. We need to work with each other. We don't have to be best friends. We don't even have to like each other, but we have to work together. You know, and like, we're not gonna name call, we're not going to get vicious about it. Let's sit down at a workshop where we have plenty of time and duke it out. You know, what's your plan? Bring your written plans and let's work this out. Because, you know, everybody in here has good ideas of how to, and wants the same goal, to keep this city functioning, to bring more businesses in, to make it thrive. But we have to work together. I mean, I have to side with John Patterson, which you know I argue with him a lot. We have to work together. We have to put away our likes and dislikes and work together for the common goal.
Debbie,
Oh,
we would love to have people show up at our volunteer meetings. The second Thursday of every month, and we would be happy to hear any ideas. We just have a few amount of people that throws together ideas, and then if it's not a good idea, those people get.
I mean, we have a lot of things, I mean,
We would also like to see all of you guys here at every council meeting, so you know what's going on. Because we spend a tremendous amount of volunteer time working on ordinances, paying the bills, fixing repairs, doing the grants. Linda spends close to 30 to 40 hours a week free in here doing this.
At least.
At least doing this, and it's just not all of your stuff. We have all the business in that we have to deal with too. It's constant. I mean, we got, the insurances, and we have grants, and we have the sewer project, we have DUQ coming in all the time. So come to the meetings, but a lot of our time spent doing this. We would love to spend more time helping. But we have to choose, are we gonna spend more time with the business end, so we get the bills paid, we get all this stuff complied with? Or are we gonna spend our time helping with the flea markets? We're split too. It's a lot of work.
Dick,
You know, I've been listening to this for a long time, same old thing all the time. I just feel like attacking city council for every issue that there is non-productive. People need to work together, not fight each other. It's just, I feel like I'm in third grade sometimes. It's just nonsense.
Yeah.
And I have, one other thing I have a question about. People are wanting to start new events. We've got a mining museum that's really cool down here that just sits fallow. People, volunteers go in there every once in a while, knock the weeds down. Other than that, it's nothing. It's just a bunch of rusty metal sitting out in the field. And I wondered if there's somebody that's supposed to be in charge of that. I know John initially started that thing.
You blame me, Dick.
No, I'm not blaming you, John. Don't start on me.
No, Dick, no. All I'm saying is,
John, my turn.
okay, I'm sorry.
I'm just curious why nothing is being done with that. It's a cool thing.
Yeah.
This is our history.
Is that private property?
Yeah, that's private property. And I have let that, kind of my fault, I've let it slide. I've been putting the city signs in, and I volunteered to water the grounds to try and keep them a little bit green, halfway work. And, I'm gonna be up there, we have weed eated up there. I got a Fresno scraper, and I wanna build an exhibit on that anyway. I know I need to get up there and do some things and work on.
Well, John, I volunteered years ago to help you with that thing.
And you did help?
And nothing ever happened.
Well,
So that's all I got to say.
okay, thanks, Dick. Well, Sherry, guys,
Just because I know, because I saw him, and I just wanted to elaborate. The volunteers have actually put quite a bit of money into signage with QR codes on some of the equipment. There was a Boy Scout group, I believe, that came and toured it, and the young kids, we all know these things live in their hands. But they knew right by looking at it what to do when they pulled up their QR code. So they have done some stuff, but I do know that recently they've been kind of stretched in, like every group that volunteers. There's only a small handful.
The vice president volunteer.
we need to help
us sometime.
Yeah.
We've done some repair on the machinery up there as well. Some of the volunteers, their spouses and friends have come up and gotten some of those, pieces of equipment running. So we're hoping that we can, get more interest into that museum. The more machinery that we can refurbish and get running, more draw, hopefully, that we can bring to that museum.
Yeah, I'm not putting down the quality of care of the using, because it's just not generating anything.
Right, right, and our goal is to get to that point,
Okay.
yeah, with the volunteers' efforts and stuff, but. And I think we should thank John for all the work to bring in the rest.
This is not about me,
Well,
please.
But you've done a lot.
I'm human, this is not about me, and
John,
if,
we do stay touch, because you brought a lot of people in this 4th of July, and that helps everybody around here. And yeah, there might be some crazies, but we get crazies kind of all the time.
This is not my favorite,
You know?
like the bus last year.
It's not your
Okay. Okay, guys.
Thank you, Don. I just have one more
Thank
thing
you,
to
John.
comment. One of the things that can really help this town out a lot is when you're speaking, I did this, I did this, I did this. I'd like the language to change that the Sumter volunteers, you all did it. And the city council, you all did it. No more, I did that, I did that. We don't care. We're grown-ups, okay? Let's use the word we.
Anything else in regards to the rent fair? We kind of
Spread it a little further.
spread out a little. So, I mean, are you all, since you're all here, willing to, if we find a common date, to come back and sit down and work with some ideas for the rent fair? Or are we just spinning our wheels? I mean,
I think.
Richard Crowe again, like on Cynthia's place. We had all our regular vendors,
mhm,
and we did put some Renaissance in there.
mhm.
So the Renaissance don't gotta be into one space, let it spread and mix in with the other vendors.
But I mean,
But I mean,
but we just need, sit down and need to get some ideas whether, I mean, if the volunteers are wanting to stay hard and fast with the Ren Fair, then that's fine. Or do they want to go maybe to something that relates to our history here? I mean, this is,
We can do that on any given
Yeah.
weekend. It doesn't have to be the
Yeah.
same weekend.
but
That could be an
it's just,
addition.
because there's a lot of things that can be done to bring in people that, like Timber Carnival, or, I don't know, I mean, gold mine, we have so much history here. So, I mean, we all need to sit down and really see what, what project, if this is the project you really want to do, then fine, but maybe there's one that you could grab and make more of what's in this community. I don't know. I'm not making any suggestions. I'm just asking, is it worth the time to try to get everybody together and come with a consensus of one event,
I think we can do that, Linda.
I
don't,
I mean, and
know
it's,
that there's
and it's,
anybody here that wouldn't wanna do
yeah,
that.
no, and it's gotta be, I mean, like I say, we may disagree, but we need to disagree
Agree to
politely.
Disagree.
I mean, there's a way that we can work this out and not be rude to each other.
Correct.
I mean, that's, I don't want that,
look at it for the city, not distinction through the ribs.
So, unless there's somebody else that has something specific about the Ren Fair, I think we're going to move on.
Yes.
Okay, and what I'll do is, I'll talk to maybe the volunteer, I'll try to find a date that works for everybody or the majority, and then we'll post it, let it out, and go through John for the volunteers or something like that. So we had one more thing, Old Business Cemetery that got tabled, that's not here. Council's comment, Daryl,
No, pardon me, not on me.
Martha, good, Gary, I think we've all had quite a, how about public comment in regards to something other than unfair?
I just have a,
Name,
Jason Crossman,
okay,
just have a question. Have you guys ever thought about blocking the street off the Newland bypass for like 4th of July, and you have the Renaissance, and you have vendors all the way down the,
well, we had,
well, I get it's a state highway, but it can be done.
it can be done, but then you're pushing traffic, ATV traffic, car traffic all through the neighborhood. And,
Right, we'd have to come up with some
yeah,
sort of.
and because a lot of those people aren't dust abated,
Decimated, right?
then since they don't have, then it creates an awful lot of dust, and then we create another problem of people that choose not to be involved in the event, and then getting they're getting the overflow instead, even though they choose not to be downtown. So, I mean, it'd be nice that there isn't any easy way to do it, and not create havoc with
Fair
the other citizens. So
We
thank you.
don't have two main streets,
Yeah.
we just got one.
Okay, and yes,
Is there a chance that you could have like a shooting contest of the fairgrounds and have people shoot all those gophers that are coming out of there?
actually,
Head count wins, I like that idea.
I brought that up.
Yes, you did.
I did bring this up, and unfortunately, shooting in city limits is not really
Allowed.
allowed.
I trapped 18 of our little safe rats guys. And someone stole my life trap, well, that's gone. And someone, I think basically it's their dog, the other 5-gallon trap. I put peanut butter on top. And I'm fairly sure somebody's letting their dog out there and they're looking at peanut butter on the dog. And that's the end of my traps. So far, I got 18 of them. And I got 6 out of the Marionberry shed in 2 days, in the same trap.
So, but yeah, so, okay, so no other public comments, I would entertain
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll second the motion.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
5:22.